If you're an esthetician or a beauty pro trying to build your clientele, grow your clientele utilizing social media, specifically Instagram, you definitely want to keep listening to this episode. I'm going to give you some updates on trial reels and drafts to make posting even easier and convert more of your followers into actual paying clients. Welcome to The Rebel Show, the podcast for estheticians who want to grow their business, master social media, and perfect their waxing technique. I'm Bree Mesquit, esthetician, business coach, and founder of Rebel Wax and first-to-market wax pads. I built a 6-figure clientele, a 7-figure brand, and have trained over 15,000 waxers through my in-person and online courses. Are you struggling to book clients or market yourself? You're in the right place. Each week, I bring real business strategies, waxing education, and no BS advice to help you grow. Let's get into it. Hey guys, welcome back to The Rebel Show. I'm Bree Mesquit, and today is going to be short and sweet, but super impactful if you guys actually implement this. One thing I really want to encourage is don't just be a listener of the show. As much as I appreciate it, I want you guys to actually get results from listening to my show, and the only way to do that is if you start implementing. So please do not feel like, especially if you're a listener week over week, I need to say about 75% of you who are tuning in every single week are not subscribed. I know it's really easy to forget to do this. I personally have done this. Now I'm really intentional about making sure I subscribe to people's channels that I'm visiting because I realize how impactful it is and how helpful it is for the person on the other side of the screen. So if you can please, before we move on, press that subscribe button. It actually helps us out so much more than you could even imagine. Okay, now getting back to it. So my encouragement is don't be just listening to the show week over week without implementing. But now I know that there's a lot of information. I'm constantly throwing things at you guys. Do not feel like you have to do every single one. Pick one thing, get good at it, stay consistent with it, create the discipline before you add something new. Once you've gotten it down pretty well, then it can go into maintenance mode while you implement something new as well, okay? So don't feel like every single week you have something new you have to be doing every single week. It's overwhelming and it's not sustainable. So with that being said, today I'm going to be talking about some updates and new ways that I'm utilizing trial reels and drafts and repurposing content to just make content creation and posting and being consistent with that even easier without having to create so much new content all the time. So let's first talk about trial reels and some of the updates that you guys need to know. Trial reels are now limited to 5 per day. It used to be, and I knew if you guys go back and listen to my episode about trial reels before, I was like, post 100 a day, as many as you can. They're going to take this away from us once they find out what we're doing. Well, they figured it out. So now we're limited to 5 a day, and you will be docked if you're posting the same thing over and over. So you need to make slight changes. There's nothing put out there yet of how much of a change it needs to be. But if you notice that you post a video that goes viral, like I've had some that have gone mega viral, so I just keep posting it over and over. At first, it continued to go viral, and now it's stuck at maybe like 50 to 100 views, and then it just completely phases out. The whole point of that is you don't want to just be posting the exact same video 5 times in a row like I have recommended to do in the past. You want to create some variations. Okay, so that's an update with trial reels up to 5 a day. Now, what the heck is a trial reel? If you didn't see my past episode, you're not familiar with what a trial reel is. A trial reel is only shown to non-followers. It is a small business and advertiser's freaking dream. It is a gold mine. This is arguably one of the best features that Instagram has ever put out, and I'm like dead serious, not being dramatic on that at all. It is so huge. It's free ads. Like when you run ads, you're usually targeting people who have not heard of you before, right? There are retargeting ads and things as well. Actually, let me know if you guys want me to dive a little bit into ads, because I've been learning a lot about them and utilizing them for the first time, paid ads through Meta ourselves. So I can totally teach you what I've learned so far. Anyway, actually, you know what? Maybe I hired someone locally to be helping me with this. I'm sure he'd be willing to come on the podcast as a guest. So if you guys have questions about ads, definitely leave them below, because that'd be awesome. I'll get him on. His name's Connor. I've mentioned him before. And then we can actually have some questions from you guys to ask him directly. Anyways, ads, the whole point is to get in front of new eyes, right? Well, it's like now trial reels, you're not overwhelming your current audience because they're not seeing it. So trial reels is a game changer if you're not utilizing it and you're wanting to grow in your follower count, but even more importantly, grow your following in order to book new clients, and you have to be using trial reels. Another feature that I just discovered, and I think it's been a thing for a while, but I didn't use this or I didn't know it existed. When you go to post a piece of content, if you draft it and then you go to your drafts, you'll see all your drafts. There's the 3 little dots, right? If you click on that, you can duplicate your draft. So I'm like, this is freaking a game changer, because I was having to re-upload and then re-edit again, because I like to post anything that I'm going to be posting to my feed. I might as well also throw it up and post it as a trial reel. It can be the exact same because you're not posting it twice without making changes to it as a trial reel. Once on your feed, once on your trial reel. It's different algorithms, so you're not going to get docked by not making any slight changes. So literally, anytime you guys have content that you're going to be posting, draft it first, duplicate it a few times. So now in 3 months from now, you can just repost it. You guys really should be repurposing and reposting your content every 2-3 months. You can repost it again. Not everyone that follows you sees every single post, and people by that time, they've completely forgotten about that. Okay. There's so much fighting for our attention now and on top of that, people need to be reminded more than they need to be taught. You've probably heard me say that before. I'll never stop saying that. It's so incredibly true. So draft it. Now you're creating a little content library for you. There's no reason, there's no excuse for you to not be able to post consistently. Hey there, I hope you're enjoying this episode so far. For those of you who are already using and loving Rebel Wax in your treatment room, I wanted to provide you with the opportunity to save an additional 10% on top of the 10% we already give for our subscribe and save customers. If you would like to never worry about inventory issues again, then head to our website, lashandwaxoc.com. Use the code THEREBELSHOW, all one word, to save an additional 10% off for a total of 20% off your first subscribe and save. Now back to the show. Okay, so there's that. That's a little trick that I just recently learned. Now, how to repurpose. So every piece of content that I put out, I'm going to create it in multiple different formats. So what I mean by that is, like, say I have a short made of, I actually did this the other day. So I'm waxing someone's eyebrow. So I posted it as it was, just the original, which was me doing a demo. So I was talking through it, okay? So I posted it as that. Then I duplicated it, and then I took off the original audio and I put music over it. So now you're just watching me wax. You hear nothing. There's no explanation, no demo, and you're listening to some fun music. Then I also did where I cut out all the talking, so it was more of an ASMR. So this did take a little bit of editing, but I just edited out any parts where I was talking, and then you just get the ASMR of me applying and removing the wax strips. So one video created 3 times. I could have also, and I'll probably do this next, take off all audio and then do a voiceover, and maybe I'm storytelling. Hey, watch me wax my client's eyebrow while I tell you about a time that XYZ. You guys don't need to continuously be creating more. We do want to be creating new content, of course, but you also want to be going back and repurposing and posting one thing in multiple different formats. And then this is when you can really start collecting data to allow the data to teach you and move you forward. Because if you start noticing a pattern of, okay, I posted this video in 3-4 different formats and the voiceover always just killed it, then now in the future, that's going to be kind of more of your go-to. Let's do more voiceover stuff. Let me tell more stories over videos of me waxing. So that's another thing that I am doing now actively, and it's been a game changer. I'm able to be posting so much, you guys. I'm posting 5 times a day on my trial reels. I'm posting on my normal feed 2, sometimes 3 times a day on Instagram. I'm posting 2 to 3 times a day on TikTok. And this is what's helping me to do that without feeling burnt out. Now, Granted, this is more of like my full-time position, I would say, is creating content. That's a big part of my job here at our business. Is what keeps traffic coming in, what keeps sales up. So I don't want you to feel like you have to start there. It took me since 2017 to get to this point. Okay. I've been at it with the content game for a long time. So these things are going to help you be even more consistent and more efficient than you are now. But I don't want you to jump from 0 to 100, okay? I want you to just increase slightly and get a little bit more efficient and put out a little bit better quality. But if you haven't even gotten through posting your first 100 posts yet, then right now it's purely all about volume. Your first 100 posts is nothing but volume so that you have data. First of all, you're putting in the reps and sets, so you're going to naturally get better and better. And you're going to have data to start looking back on to see what resonates best with your audience. We're also not looking for virality. We really want to target those who are local to us, who are most likely to actually book an appointment. With that being said, if you missed last week's episode, me teaching about ManyChat automation, then you 100% need to go back and watch that. That pairs up really nicely with this episode because once you have these people, new followers coming in through your trial reels, once they follow you, you can actually set up an automation where you're doing a personal reach out and sharing your new client promos with them, your booking link straight to their DMs, fully automated, hands off from you, and it is an absolute game changer. All right, that's all the updates I have for you. If you guys have any other questions regarding content creation or anything, really, anything to help me to support your business and the growth of your business, let me know in the comments below. And then please don't forget to subscribe. I know I already asked you that, but if you can make sure to subscribe before you head out, and then I'll see you back next week.